What's good, YouTube? This video is about dating during quarantine. Quarantine Bay. Before I start, I just want to let you all know that I'm doing a giveaway. For every 10 signups I get into the Y Sisterhood, I'm giving away one free hour-long consultation. Current members are already enrolled, of course, and if you don't win a consultation but you need one, you can schedule that at girltalkwithguys.com. Now on to this topic. Dating online is a must during quarantine. Too many women I speak to have this rule about dating online. They met a few jerks, they've had a couple of bad experiences, maybe a couple dozen, and they've just decided that online is not a great place to meet people. And while I can agree that sometimes that's the case, you can meet a shitty person in person. You can go to a mall and meet a dog. You can go to a mall and meet a creep. You can go to a mall and meet a potential abuser. And where you meet the person doesn't determine their identity. Just like you think you're a quality person, you have a lot to offer. There are others who have a lot to offer. There are others who offer quality to a relationship and intend to give a woman quality, who also are looking online because they're desperate to find somebody, right? So you have to understand that even as a woman who has value and has self-esteem and self-respect and high standards, there's a man, your equal and opposite, who also is having trouble finding love and is also looking for the same type of quality. He doesn't have access to you otherwise, but he knows you exist, so he goes online, right? Again, you might have to kiss a lot of frogs to find that guy, but don't tell yourself and don't get the scarcity mindset going on that there's no man out there, there's no quality out there, because that's just not true. I often tell clients that I have that are talking about how hard it is to find a great guy online, that it's a lot more like bumper cars than meeting somebody in person. There's a certain energetic and spiritual intelligence that we have, a certain divine intelligence that we have, that when we meet people, sometimes we're, especially in person, we're attracted to them, we feel their energy, and we say, okay, that's the one. I like this person, right? You can feel somebody's vibe or even intention, right? We have that in person. So when you meet somebody online, you don't have those things. You're kind of shopping blind. It's almost like blind dating. You can't pick a perfect match from a profile picture. You just have to get lucky. It's more like a gamble. And some people I know don't like gambles. But that's the type of attitude that you have to have if you're dating online, especially during the quarantine, because you just can't be out and about meeting people organically. But like I said, when we meet people organically, we have this divine intelligence. We have this intrinsic knowledge about like how our energy responds to somebody else's energy. And that helps us make our selections in person. That helps us draw naturally toward the person that we might be more compatible with, because we feel their presence. We get a glimpse of their stature. We get a glimpse of their energy. We get a glimpse of their posture and the way they carry themselves. We have so much more information to go on just meeting somebody at a gas station, as opposed to picking a profile picture of a handsome person or a beautiful woman and then trying to hope, right? And hoping for our lives that this means something and this turns into something. It's almost like I said, it's like bumper cars. On the bumper car, if you've ever been to a carnival or anything like that, and you get on the bumper cars, you might be in car 3. Another person might be in car 27. Another guy's in car 19, right? You might bump into these people randomly, having no relationship with them, not having entered the carnival with them, but you have a great time. And then there are other people in the bumper cars that are hitting too hard and being a little bit too rough, and you're irritated and you just want to get the hell away from them or get off the bumper cars. That's kind of how online dating is. Online dating is like bumper cars. Sometimes you meet somebody that you click with. Sometimes you meet somebody that you can instantly kind of have fun with. They understand, a level of appropriate that is intrinsic to you. And then there are other people who are just roughshod and they don't work. There are people who don't play fair. There are people who have no intent to play at all, but have gotten dragged onto the ride because they're with somebody who loves carnivals and loves bumper cars, right? The online community is full of random people bumping into each other like you're on a bumper car ride. So random people bumping into each other aren't always going to be compatible, but that shouldn't be expected. It would make no sense at all to expect to meet random people without any of the prerequisite selection techniques that we use when we meet people in person. Right? We have a certain style of person we like. We have a certain style of fashion that we like to see people in. We have a certain stature, a certain body shape, a certain energy, a certain voice tone, a certain hair color. We have all of these types of things that we use to say, okay, I'm attracted immediately or I'm not attracted. Oh, and there's not to even mention like pheromones. A person's smell is like 60% of it. If I meet somebody and I don't like the way they smell, even if they're attractive, I don't want to deal with them. Like, I don't even know what that is about. But like the pheromones that people, it's chemical actually, I know what it's about. It's the science of attraction. You can Google this shit, but it's chemical. If somebody doesn't smell right, we don't feel as connected to them. So think about it. You have all of these determinations to make about how qualified somebody is to be with you, or how qualified they are to make you attracted to them. And in person, it's difficult enough. Imagine how much more difficult it would be online. Online, you have to think of like blind dating. Not necessarily like this tragic thing that happened because you had a bad date. I always tell my clients, worry about the other things on the date. Sometimes if you're dating online, you're going to have some bad dates. So make sure you always go to restaurants you love and movies you want to see, right? Because if the food was good, you had to eat, it really wasn't a disaster. You enjoyed your meal. It really wasn't a disaster. You got to see the movie you wanted to see. You really have to go to blind dates with a lot less pressure on the result of the date socially. Just go do the activity and make sure the activity is fun enough that if you don't have a great experience with that person, you can still get a little bit of enjoyment out of the night. No harm, no foul. We have to stop taking bad dates so seriously and so personally. It's not a failure if you went on 4 or 5 dates or 10 or 11 dates and you didn't match up or bump into a random person who you were compatible with, who smelled right, who talked right, who had the right personality for you. It's not a failure. Dating isn't not for you. We have to stop taking this shit so personally and expect to meet people who you are not compatible with. It can work out, or it can be a worthwhile time or experience, but you just have to have the right mindset. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KevHick24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.